Welcome back, everyone. Let's go ahead and do a comparison between the Samsung Galaxy S22 and the Samsung Galaxy S8 and see which specific phone you should go and pick up. Now, I will tell you, there really isn't any reason or point of picking up a Galaxy S8 anymore. It's pretty outdated, so I'll leave some other phones I link in the description down below. You can get them from there and help support the channel at the same time. Now, on the front, the Samsung Galaxy S8 does have a little bit of a smaller 5.8-inch Super AMOLED display. It's 1440p, so it's actually higher resolution than the Galaxy S22, which is weird because this phone is 5 years older than the S22. But I'll be honest, it's not a bad looking panel. It's first of all higher resolution, like I mentioned, but it does have a little bit of bezel at the bottom and top. But this was a really big redesign back in 2017 coming from its predecessor, the S7, so that was a pretty big redesign. You have a little bit of a curved edge too, which makes the phone feel more premium. I actually do like that curved edge, but it does get a little weird because you accidentally click things all the time. But this is still a pretty good looking panel. Mine has a lot of burn-in, but I'm still really happy with this display and it holds up extremely well. The Galaxy S22, on the other hand, has a 6.1-inch dynamic AMOLED display, and it's still a very, very good panel too. 1080p, so a little bit lower resolution, but you do have 120 Hz on this panel, which is amazing. I love having that type of capability, and it really does future-proof this phone. I mean, you can pick up this phone next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, and it's still going to have a really good panel for sure. Hole punch display too, so less bezel than the S8, which is amazing. Now, in terms of the thinness and thickness, we have a little bit of a different setup. The Galaxy S8 is actually a pretty thin phone. The Galaxy S22, on the other hand, is substantially, thicker. So keep that in mind. It's a little bit more compact, it feels like, but the S22, actually the S22 is a little bit more wider, but the S8 is a very thin phone when it comes down to it. On the back, they both have glass backs, which is really cool as well. However, the Galaxy S22 has that frosted glass back, which definitely looks far better than the Galaxy S8, and that's definitely something cool. Now, they both have wireless charging. The Galaxy S22 does have reverse wireless charging, which is really awesome. Triple camera setup here, single camera setup here with the fingerprints right up there, which is so funny. But that is not everything. The Galaxy S8 has some other things up its sleeve. It actually has a headphone jack, which is cool. All right, we all get used to it now. But we do have a micro SD card slot on the Galaxy S8 as well, which is amazing. Having that type of capability of literally just having a micro SD card slot on a phone like this is so cool, and I love having those types of features. So when it comes down to it, the Galaxy S22 is definitely the better phone. I don't see any reason why somebody should still have a Galaxy S8, but it's still really cool how a phone this old pretty much still has some more capability than something like the Galaxy S22. So in terms of that, that covers it up there. Now, another big thing, and probably the reason why I wouldn't recommend buying a Galaxy S8 anymore, is the software. This thing did get One UI 1, so Android 9, and it hasn't gotten a software update since then. Some security updates here and there, but it's completely outdated, and it really doesn't make any sense to purchase this phone anymore because it is severely outdated. On the Galaxy S22, on the other hand, Samsung has been making a ton of improvements. They actually gave this phone, or are giving this phone, 4 years of full OS updates and 5 years of security updates, and that is incredible. I love seeing that type of capability here, and even though Samsung isn't perfect in their software department either, having that type of longevity on a phone like this is amazing, and I cannot wait for the future of this device. So when it comes down to it, I'm really happy with something like the Galaxy S22, and I cannot wait for the future of this device. Now let's go and do a speed comparison between both these phones. The Galaxy S8 had that Qualcomm Snapdragon 835 chipset inside of it with 4 gigabytes of RAM, where the Galaxy S22 has that Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset inside of it with 8 gigabytes of RAM. So twice the amount of RAM here than on here. So let's go and see which one is the faster one between both of these. Okay, there we go. Hopefully you guys can see the displays. All the apps are cleared out in the background. S8 is here, S22 is here. So let's get into it. Phone calls, 3, 2, 1. And even right there, you could tell that the Galaxy S8 was much slower. Let's go and get into messages, 3, 2, 1. And definitely the Galaxy S22 was faster. Let's get into their cameras, 3, 2, 1. And again, definitely a faster experience on something like the Galaxy S22. Hopping out of this one, let's go and get into their Play Stores, 3, 2, 1. And right there too, Play Stores are really fast to load up on Android phones, and definitely the Galaxy S22 is faster there. Scrolling through, you guys can see that again, I think the Galaxy S22 is the smoother one, although the Galaxy S8 is still pretty fast. I don't think it's faster than the S22, but definitely the smoother one is for the S22 for sure. Now, as always, we have a bunch of these third-party applications we can go and get, start getting tested to. Let's do Temple Run 2, 3, 2, 1. Now, this application is notorious of crashing on a lot of Samsung phones, so I don't know if it's going to open fully on the S22, although it does usually fully open on the S8, so I guess we'll see what happens. But the S22 is just flying past the Galaxy S8. It still may crash. Nope, it didn't crash. On the Galaxy S8, I mean, that was a pretty big difference. Typically, I don't want to, it may have been stuck on the downloading content portion too, although I still think I saw that on the S22. So that was a pretty big difference right there. Hopping out of this one, let's go get into the next one, which is Snake versus Blocks. 3, 2, 1. And definitely the Galaxy S22 much faster than the Galaxy S8 yet again. There's some pretty big differences between these two. Hopping out of this specific application, let's go and get into Stack. 3, 2, 1. And even the app opening speeds are so much faster on the Galaxy S22 just to even load it up in terms of the animation, let alone actually loading into the application, which is just so much faster on the Galaxy S22. I mean, 5 years difference between these two. I'm actually really impressed with the Galaxy S22, to be honest, compared to this phone. Hopping out of this one, let's go and get into the next one, which is Snapchat, which I am logged in here, so let's skip that. Let's go to Fruit Ninja. 3, 2, 1. And on phones like the Galaxy S8, it kind of trips me out because it looks like I didn't click on it even though I did. So that's another pretty weird thing between these two phones. And with the S8, it may be on an older version of Fruit Ninja, which may help it, it may hurt it. So it looks like, okay, there we go. And the S22 has been loaded for a minute now. The S8 definitely taking its time. And I don't know what's going on with this one. This one is not on low power mode or anything. So definitely much slower on that phone than on the Galaxy S22. This is a substantially big amount of difference for sure. We can do thank you. 3, 2, 1. And I mean, the S22 is just flying past the Galaxy S9. To be honest, the S10 to the S22 really didn't seem like that big of a speed difference, but these phones are crazy. We'll end it off with both a 3, 2, 1. So if you're going from an S8 to the S22, you are going to be getting a much faster phone in pretty much every single dimension. And this is just the tip of the top, to be honest. When you're actually using the phones, the S22 is going to be way faster. So that covers it up there. Now let's go and quickly hit on the cameras. So the Samsung Galaxy S8 had a single 12 megapixel wide-angle lens. The Galaxy S22 has a triple camera setup, a 15 megapixel wide-angle lens, 10 megapixel telephoto lens, then a 12 megapixel ultra-wide sensor. Both can do 4K on the back. The S8 can only do 4K at 30. The S8 can also do 1080p, actually 1440p on the front of this phone. The S22, on the other hand, can actually do 8K on the back, 4K at 60 on the front and the back as well. So definitely much better camera setup on the S22. For as many years as I've been using the S8, I can definitely tell you when it first came out, very good sensor. It was not really that outdated, but it got outdated very fast as soon as the Galaxy S10 came out, literally 2 years later. So this phone with its single, camera setup, it is a pretty outdated setup as of right now. It's only a single camera. You cannot shoot 4K at 60 on the back or the front, and that is pretty much already outdated. On top of that, it's on an older version of Android, so there's not even too many features. I mean, there's still a lot of features built in, but we don't really have as many crazy features on this phone as we have on something like the Galaxy S22. This phone has a ton of features built in. You can pretty much do everything you want to with this phone. Again, 8K capability is really awesome, and this phone is pretty much here to stay. I mean, you have the ability of zooming in and zooming out a lot, which is so cool as always, and you have that 8K capability, but on top of that, you have so many options under this more option right here, which is so incredible, and I love seeing that type of capability. So the Galaxy S8 was a good camera when it first came out. It's not really that good anymore, but the S22 is here to take its place for sure. I want to hit on the battery life as well. The S8 had a 3000 mAh battery. The Galaxy S22 has a 3700 mAh battery, so you're definitely getting better battery life on the Galaxy S22 as well. And to be completely honest, I definitely do think the Samsung Galaxy S22 is the better phone in pretty much every single area. There really isn't any place where I can look at the S22 and be like, okay, yeah, this is the better phone in every single area. No, the S22 is the better phone. The S8 is not better in any way. Maybe the microSD card slot and headphone jack, but other than that, I would recommend buying a Galaxy S22, and this is a very good upgrade. But also, going from a Galaxy S8 to a Galaxy S10 is a really big upgrade as well. Going from an S8 to a S20 is also really big. There's a lot of movement you can do. You don't have to go from an S8 to the S22. You can go from an S8 to S10, S8 to S21, S20, save some money there. But this is a very good phone. If you want to go for S21, I'd probably recommend that a little bit more, to be honest, save some money. But this is a very good upgrade for sure. So that kind of covers it. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.